The sleek alien ship landed on the bright green lawn of the United Nations headquarters in New York. Its silver surface reflected the morning sun, almost blinding the gathered crowd. This was the day humanity had waited for. First contact with an advanced alien civilization. Captain James Walker stood at attention behind the world leaders. His blue uniform was perfectly pressed, his face a mask of calm. But inside, his heart raced. After 20 years in Earth's Defense Force, he knew that first meetings were the most dangerous. As the ship's door opened with a soft hiss, he placed his hand on his holstered gun. 7 tall, thin aliens walked out. Their skin was pale blue, and they had large eyes that took in everything. The tallest one wore a gold robe and stepped forward. "I am Delegate Moore of the Galactic Council," the alien said in perfect English. "We have watched your planet for some time. Today, we offer you membership in our peaceful Federation of Worlds." The UN Secretary-General stepped forward with a wide smile. "We are honored by your offer. Earth has long hoped to join a larger community among the stars." Walker watched the aliens carefully. Something in their eyes didn't match their friendly words. He had seen that look before, in the eyes of men who thought they were superior. After the public welcome, the real meeting began inside the UN building. Walker was invited as Earth's military representative. The room was large, with a round table where human and alien leaders sat together. Delegate Moore displayed a hologram of the galaxy. Thousands of stars lit up, showing the vast reach of the Galactic Council. "For 10,000 years, we have kept peace," Moore said. "All members follow our rules and enjoy our protection. To join us, Earth must meet certain conditions." Walker did not like the pause before conditions. He sat up straighter as Moore continued. "First, Earth must reduce its military by 90%. No single planet needs so many weapons." The Secretary-General frowned. "That's a significant reduction, but we could discuss a gradual." "Second," Moore interrupted, "Earth will have colonial status for 200 years. During this time, you will learn our ways before full membership is granted." Colonial status. Walker couldn't stay silent any longer. "That means we have no vote in council matters." Moore's large eyes turned to Walker. "Correct. You would be under the guidance of a more advanced race, for your own good. The Proxima Centauri system would serve as your mentors." Walker had studied the data from Earth's deep space probes. The same Proxima Centauri whose 3 planets all mine resources for council worlds. Those mentors. A thin smile appeared on Moore's face. "You are well informed, Captain." "Yes, they have found their place in our economy." "You mean as your servants," Walker said flatly. The room grew tense. The Secretary-General shot Walker a warning look. "Captain Walker," Moore said, "humanity is young and aggressive. Your history is filled with war. The Council's approach has brought peace to 1,000 worlds. Would you prefer to stay alone and primitive?" Walker stood up. "We've fought our wars, yes, but we've also fought against those who would take our freedom. Earth has a long history of resisting empires that arrive with talk of helping the natives while taking their resources." "James," the Secretary-General warned, "remember your place." "My place is defending Earth," Walker replied. "And these aren't terms for membership. They're terms for surrender." Moore's eyes narrowed. "We offer you the stars, Captain. Without our help, you will remain trapped in this small system for centuries." "We'll get to the stars on our own terms," Walker said. "Humans have gone from horse carts to space stations in 200 years. Imagine what we'll do in the next 200. Moore stood up, suddenly seeming much taller. "Your pride will be your downfall. Many species have rejected our first offer. All have accepted eventually, often after difficult lessons." The Secretary-General quickly cut in. "Please forgive Captain Walker's directness. We need time to consider your generous offer. Perhaps we could reconvene in 6 months." Moore nodded. 6 months. We will return for your answer." He looked directly at Walker. "Consider carefully, humans. The galaxy can be welcoming, or very hostile." After the aliens left, Walker was called to the Secretary General's office. "You may have just ruined our first contact, Captain," the Secretary General said angrily. "With respect, sir, you heard their terms. They want to strip our defenses and control our resources. That's not an alliance. It's a takeover." Walker's secure phone buzzed. He answered, listened, and his face darkened. "What is it?" asked the Secretary General. Walker showed him the video from a military satellite. It showed a human research ship near Jupiter, suddenly exploding as a larger alien vessel fired upon it. The time-stamp showed it happened during their meeting. "They were sending a message," Walker said quietly. "Submit or be destroyed." The Secretary General sank into his chair. "God help us. What do we do now? We can't fight a galactic power." Walker looked out the window at the New York skyline. "We have 6 months. We've built amazing things when our backs were against the wall. What are you suggesting?" "Give me authorization to start a special project. Deep Black, known only to a few." Walker's eyes had a determined gleam. "If the Council wants to teach us a lesson, we should prepare one of our own." "What kind of project?" "They expect us to either give up or try to fight them with what we have now. They don't understand humans, sir. When cornered, we don't just fight harder. We change the rules." Walker leaned forward. "I need the best minds on the planet. Engineers, physicists, strategists, and I need them yesterday." The Secretary General stared at the replay of the destroyed ship. After a long moment, he nodded slowly. "You have 6 months, Captain Walker, but this stays completely secret. As far as the public and the Council know, we're considering their offer." Walker saluted. "Yes, sir. Project Nemesis begins today." As he left the office, Walker's mind was already racing with plans. The Galactic Council thought they had humanity cornered. They were about to learn why that was a dangerous mistake. 3 days after the aliens left, Captain James Walker stood in a massive underground facility beneath the Pacific Ocean. The base had been built in secret during the last World War, but never used. Now it would serve a new purpose. "Welcome to your new home," Walker said to the group of 50 people who had just arrived. They were the best minds on Earth: engineers, soldiers, computer experts, and scientists. "For the next 6 months, we have one job: build something that can stand up to the Galactic Council." Dr. Eleanor Reed raised her hand. She was a small woman with short brown hair and intense eyes. "Captain, I've studied the video of their ships. Their technology is centuries ahead of ours. How can we possibly catch up in 6 months?" Walker walked to a large metal container in the center of the room. "Because we have this." He pressed his hand to the scanner, and the container opened with a hiss. Inside was a twisted piece of metal with strange writing on it. 10 years ago, a small alien scout ship crashed in the Arctic. We kept it secret and studied it. We've learned some of their tech, but not enough." Walker looked at the group. "That's where you all come in. We need to take what we know and make something new, something they won't expect." Admiral Thomas Grant, an older man with gray hair and a weathered face, stepped forward. "I've commanded ships for 30 years. But this isn't just about building a better battleship. We need new thinking." "Exactly," Walker agreed. "The Council has ruled space for thousands of years. They think they've seen everything. Our advantage is that we're unpredictable." Over the next weeks, the team worked day and night. The facility became a hive of activity, with different groups tackling different problems. Dr. Reed led the engine team. She studied the alien metal for days, barely sleeping. One morning, Walker found her staring at a cup of coffee, eyes wide with excitement. "I've got it," she said, pulling him to her computer. "Look at how the alien metal reacts to electricity. It doesn't just conduct it. It amplifies it somehow. If we build engines with this principle, we could move faster than anything in their fleet." In another section, Admiral Grant worked with military experts to plan how the ship would fight. "The Council ships are big and powerful, but they're designed to intimidate," he explained to Walker. Their weapons are meant for planets and large targets. We need to be fast and hit precisely. Walker watched as the team created new weapons that used Earth's unique understanding of physics. While the Council used energy beams, the human team developed missiles that could change direction in space and projectiles that carried special payloads. But the biggest breakthrough came from an unexpected place. Lisa Brown, a young computer scientist, discovered something strange when studying the alien computer systems. Their AI is very advanced, she told Walker one day, but it's also very predictable. It follows strict rules. She showed him simulations where the alien systems always responded the same way to threats. They don't adapt well to chaos. And humans are nothing if not chaotic, Walker said with a smile. Lisa nodded eagerly. Exactly. I've been working on a new kind of ship control system. It combines AI with human thought patterns. She demonstrated by putting on a headset connected to a computer. On the screen, a virtual ship moved through space, responding to her thoughts faster than any manual control could. The system learns how humans think and anticipates our decisions, she explained. No alien AI would understand the patterns because they don't think like us. As the project progressed, news arrived that Council probe ships had been spotted near Pluto. They were watching, studying Earth's defenses. Walker increased security and pushed the team harder. Not everyone believed in the project. 5 months in, Walker was called to a video meeting with the World Security Council. "Captain, we've reviewed your progress," said Councilman Peters, a tall man with a stern face. "The resources going into Project Nemesis are enormous. Many believe we should negotiate with the Council instead." "Negotiate from weakness?" Walker asked. "They destroyed one of our ships to show their power. What kind of terms do you think they'll offer?" "Perhaps better ones than extinction," Peters replied. "If we resist and fail, they might decide humanity is too dangerous to exist." Walker leaned forward. "Throughout history, freedom has required risk. If we surrender without trying, we don't deserve to reach the stars." The meeting ended without resolution, but Walker was allowed to continue. In the final month, the ship began to take shape. It was smaller than the alien vessels but packed with technology that combined human innovation with reverse-engineered alien systems. The outer hull was painted midnight black, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Inside, the command center featured the neural interface system that Lisa had developed. Dr. Reed's engines were installed, capable of speeds that would have been considered impossible a year ago. Admiral Grant's weapons systems were hidden within the hull, invisible until needed. Walker stood before the completed ship the day before the Council's return. The crew of 100 had been chosen from the best pilots and soldiers on Earth. "Tomorrow," he told them, "the Council comes back expecting our surrender. They think humans are just another species to add to their collection." He placed his hand on the ship's cool metal surface. "This ship is called Nemesis. In ancient Earth stories, Nemesis was the force that punished those who showed arrogance before the gods." Dr. Reed stepped forward. "Captain, the neural systems are fully online. We've tested everything twice. She's ready." Walker nodded. "Then let's make sure we are too. Tomorrow, we show the galaxy what happens when you corner humanity." As the crew prepared for their positions, Walker took a moment alone in the ship's bridge. Through the viewport, he could see Earth's oceans above the underwater base. Somewhere up there, the most powerful alien force in the galaxy was about to arrive, expecting submission. "Not today," he whispered to himself. "Not ever." The sky above New York filled with massive ships. 50 of them, each larger than the biggest human aircraft carrier, moved slowly into position. Their silver hulls reflected the sunlight, making them shine like new coins in the blue sky. People in the streets below pointed and stared. Some ran in fear, while others took pictures with their phones. No one had seen anything like it. In the United Nations building, the Secretary General waited with world leaders. Captain James Walker stood nearby, dressed in his formal uniform. His face showed nothing, but inside, his heart raced. "Remember, Walker whispered to the Secretary General, "Keep them talking as long as possible. We need time." A beam of light appeared in the center of the room. It formed into the shape of High Commissioner Dorn, a tall alien with dark purple skin and 6 fingers on each hand. As the leader of the council delegation, he outranked Delegate Moore, who had visited 6 months earlier. "Greetings," Dorn said, his voice deep and smooth. "I trust you have considered our generous offer of membership." The Secretary General stepped forward. "High Commissioner, welcome back to Earth. We have indeed given your proposal much thought, but we have some questions before we can proceed." Dorn's yellow eyes narrowed slightly. "Questions?" The terms were quite clear. "Clear, yes, but there are details to discuss. For example, the reduction of our military forces. Would this include our research vessels? Many have scientific purposes. All vessels with any military capability must be dismantled," Dorn said flatly. "This is non-negotiable." The meeting continued this way for an hour. The Earth representatives asked careful questions while Dorn grew more impatient. Walker watched, saying nothing, waiting for the right moment. Finally, Dorn raised his hand to stop the discussion. "Enough delays. Your questions suggest resistance to our terms. This is unwise." He touched a device on his wrist, and a hologram appeared, showing the Council fleet positioned around Earth. "Perhaps you need to understand your situation more clearly," Dorn said. "Your planet is surrounded. You have no defenses capable of resisting even one of our ships. I ask one final time. Do you accept the Council's protection and guidance?" Walker stepped forward. "Before we answer, High Commissioner, we'd like to show you something Earth has developed recently." Dorn looked annoyed. "Some primitive technology will not change your circumstances, Captain." Walker smiled slightly and touched his own wrist device. "Maybe not, but we think you'll find this interesting." Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the hidden base opened its massive underwater doors. The Nemesis rose slowly through the water, its black hull absorbing rather than reflecting light. As it broke the surface, water cascaded off its sleek form. It was smaller than the Council ships, only about 1/3 their size, but its design was unlike anything humans had built before. The ship rose into the air without any visible engines, silent and graceful. It moved toward New York at incredible speed, arriving within minutes. It hovered directly between the UN building and the largest Council ship. In the meeting room, Walker displayed a hologram showing the Nemesis. "High Commissioner, allow me to introduce Earth's newest vessel." Dorn stared at the image, then laughed. "This is your response. One small ship. It is admirable that you built this so quickly, but it is nothing compared to our fleet." "Size isn't everything," Walker said calmly. "Perhaps a demonstration." Before Dorn could respond, Walker gave an order through his communicator. On the Nemesis, Dr. Reed activated the ship's special shields. A faint blue glow surrounded the vessel. "Scan it," Walker suggested. Dorn touched his device again, frowning. "Your ship is interfering with our sensors. This is unexpected, but not impressive. Then perhaps this will get your attention." Walker nodded to Admiral Grant, who was commanding the Nemesis. The black ship moved suddenly, faster than any Council vessel could track. It positioned itself beside one of the smallest Council ships and fired a precision beam. The beam struck the Council ship's engine section. There was no explosion, no destruction. But the Council ship's lights flickered and went dark. It began to drift, powerless. Dorn's yellow eyes widened in shock. "Impossible. How did you disable one of our ships?" "That was a warning shot," Walker explained. "We could have destroyed it, but that's not our goal." The Secretary General stepped forward again. "High Commissioner, Earth wishes to join the Galactic Council. But we will join as equals, not as servants. We propose new terms." Dorn's shocked expression hardened into anger. "You dare to dictate terms to the Council? One lucky shot does not change the balance of power. We have 50 ships. You have one." Walker smiled. "True, but we've been monitoring your communications. We know the Council isn't as united as you pretend. 3 of your member species are on the verge of rebellion. Others question the old ways. This was a guess based on intercepted messages they hadn't fully translated, but Dorn's reaction confirmed it was correct. The alien's purple skin darkened with anger. This is outrageous. You will pay for this insolence. Dorn touched his device, giving commands to his fleet. Destroy their ship. Now. The Council fleet moved into attack formation. Energy weapons charged, targeting the Nemesis. But the black ship was already moving. What happened next would be studied in military academies for generations. The Nemesis moved in ways that should have been impossible, avoiding every shot. Its neural interface, guided by Lisa Brown and a team of pilots, anticipated the Council's attack patterns before they happened. When the Nemesis fired back, its shots were precise and devastating. It targeted weapons and engines, deliberately avoiding areas that would cause ships to explode. Within 5 minutes, 10 Council ships hung dead in space. The rest had scattered, unable to coordinate against the unpredictable human vessel. In the UN building, Dorn watched in horror as his fleet fell into chaos. "This is impossible," he whispered. "No species has ever." "How did you?" Walker stood tall. "Humanity has a saying, High Commissioner. Don't back something into a corner unless you're certain it can't fight back. You threatened our freedom, so we did what humans have always done. We innovated." The Secretary General placed a data tablet on the table. "Our terms are simple. Earth joins the Council as a full member immediately. We maintain our military for self-defense, and the Council opens its technology to all member species equally." Dorn stared at the tablet, then at the hologram showing more of his ships being disabled by the Nemesis. For the first time in his long life, a High Commissioner of the Galactic Council faced something he had never expected to encounter. Defeat. News travels fast, even in the vastness of space. Within days, every planet in the Galactic Council knew about the human ship that had defeated an entire Council fleet. The stories grew with each telling. Some said the human ship could disappear and reappear at will. Others claimed it could predict the future. All agreed on one thing. For the first time in 10,000 years, the Council's power had been challenged. Captain James Walker stood on the bridge of the Nemesis, looking at the stars through the main viewport. The ship was orbiting Earth, a silent guardian. Dr. Reed worked at a console nearby, analyzing data from their battle. "We've become famous overnight," she said, showing Walker a translation of messages they had intercepted. "Every oppressed species in the galaxy is talking about us." Walker frowned. "Fame can be dangerous. The Council won't take this humiliation lightly." Admiral Grant entered the bridge. "You're right about that. Our long-range scanners show massive fleet movements. The Council is calling ships from all sectors. They're preparing for war," Walker said quietly. Back on Earth, the Secretary General called an emergency meeting. Representatives from all nations gathered to discuss the situation. "The Council has withdrawn for now," the Secretary General explained. "But our victory may have only bought us time. We have reports that the Council is divided on how to respond." Walker, attending via secure video link, added, "Our intelligence suggests 3 main factions have formed. The Krell, a warrior species, want immediate all-out war against Earth. The Lorens advocate for genuine negotiation. And a neutral faction led by High Counselor Vex is still undecided." "What are our options?" asked the Chinese president. "We could wait for them to make the next move," Walker said, "or we could take action. Show them we're not a threat to peace, only to tyranny." After hours of debate, they made a bold decision. The Nemesis would embark on a diplomatic mission to visit key worlds in the Council space. They would demonstrate peaceful intentions while making it clear that humans would not be conquered. 2 weeks later, the Nemesis entered the Loren home system. The Lorens were one of the oldest species in the Council, known for their wisdom and diplomatic skills. Their world was a beautiful blue-green planet with 3 moons. As the human ship approached, a fleet of smaller vessels moved to intercept them. But these weren't warships. They were ceremonial escorts. "They're welcoming us," Admiral Grant said, surprised. On the Loran homeworld, Walker led a small delegation to meet with the Loran leadership. The aliens were tall and slender with golden skin that seemed to glow from within. Their leader, Ambassador Teal, greeted the humans warmly. "Your arrival has created quite a stir throughout the galaxy," Teal said as they walked through a garden of strange, glowing plants. "Many species remember when they too were forced to accept colonial status. Your resistance has given them hope." "We didn't come to cause trouble," Walker explained. "Humans just want to be treated as equals." Teal's large eyes studied Walker carefully. "Perhaps that is exactly what troubles the Council. For too long, they have maintained power by keeping advanced technology in the hands of a few. Your ship, this Nemesis, suggests humans might advance too quickly to control." Dr. Reed, who had joined the delegation, shared some of Earth's cultural achievements, art, music, and literature. Using a device she had created, she allowed the Lorans to experience human emotions directly. Many were moved to tears by Earth music. "Your species feels things deeply," Teal observed. "This passion drives your creativity." The visit was a success. The Lorans agreed to support Earth's bid for full Council membership. More importantly, they shared information about other worlds that might be sympathetic to humanity's cause. In the following weeks, the Nemesis visited 5 more planets. Each time, they demonstrated human culture alongside their technology. They made it clear that humans sought friendship, not domination. But not everyone welcomed them. When they arrived at Krell space, they were met with hostility. The Krell were a reptilian species known for their aggressive nature and military might. Their ships immediately took offensive positions. "They're charging weapons," Admiral Grant reported. "Hold position," Walker ordered. "Don't power our weapons. Let them make the first move." The standoff lasted for tense minutes. Finally, a gruff voice came through the communication system. "Human vessel, you have shown skill in battle. The Krell respect strength. You may enter our space, but we are watching." It wasn't friendship, but it was recognition. The Nemesis continued its mission, building a network of allies across the galaxy. Meanwhile, on a distant world hidden behind a red nebula, the Krell military leadership met in secret. General Zork, a battle-scarred veteran, addressed his commanders. "While the humans play diplomat, we prepare for war," he growled. "Their ship is impressive, but it is only one vessel. The Council has ruled for 10,000 years. We will not be undone by primitives." He revealed their plan, a surprise attack not on the Nemesis, but on Earth itself. Without its defender, the planet would be vulnerable. "The human homeworld will fall," Zork promised, "and the galaxy will remember why the Council is to be feared." The Krell fleet launched in secret, using hidden jump routes to avoid detection. The Nemesis was completing a successful meeting with the Axillary, an advanced race specializing in biology, when Walker received an urgent message from Earth. The Admiral's face was grim on the screen. "Captain, long-range sensors have detected a massive energy surge heading towards Earth. It's Krell signatures, at least 30 battleships. They'll be here in 12 hours. Walker turned to his crew. "Set course for Earth, maximum speed." Dr. Reed looked worried. "Even with our engines, we can't get there in less than 15 hours. Walker's face hardened with determination. "Then we need to find a shortcut. Contact our new allies. See if anyone knows a faster route." As the Nemesis raced toward home, Walker stared at the star map. Earth was about to face the full might of the Krell fleet without its defender. Millions could die. "I should never have left," he whispered. Dr. Reed put her hand on his shoulder. "We needed to make allies. And we did. Will they stand with us when it matters?" Walker wondered aloud. The answer would determine the fate of humanity. The Nemesis raced through space, pushing its engines beyond their limits, Captain Walker paced the bridge, checking the time constantly. They were still 3 hours away from Earth. The Krell fleet would arrive in less than one. "We need to warn Earth," Walker said. "Admiral Grant, can you reach our defense command?" The Admiral shook his head. "The Krell are blocking all long-range communications." Dr. Reed rushed onto the bridge. "Captain, Ambassador Teal of the Lorens is requesting to speak with you." The alien's golden face appeared on the main screen. "Captain Walker, we have detected the Krell fleet movement. This attack violates Council law. Can you help us?" Walker asked directly. "The Loren fleet is already on its way to Earth. We will arrive shortly after the Krell." But Teal hesitated. "There are only 10 of our ships. The Krell have 30. Walker nodded grimly. "We'll take any help we can get." "Thank you, Ambassador." As the communication ended, Dr. Reed approached Walker. "I've been studying the data from our jump drive. There might be a way to get home faster." "How?" "It's risky," she explained. "We could use the gravity of a nearby star to boost our speed. It would bend space around us, creating a shortcut." "Has anyone ever done this before?" Walker asked. "No, it's just a theory. And it would take us dangerously close to the star's corona. The heat could damage our shields." Walker looked at the ship's clock again. Earth had less than 30 minutes now. "Do it." The Nemesis changed course, heading directly toward a massive blue star. As they approached, the heat alarms began to sound. The ship shuddered as it fought against the enormous gravity. "Shields at maximum," Admiral Grant called out. "Hull temperature rising." Dr. Reed worked furiously at her console. "Just a few more seconds. Now." The Nemesis shot around the star like a slingshot, accelerating to impossible speed. For a moment, the view screen showed only blinding light. Then suddenly, they were in Earth's solar system. "It worked," Dr. Reed shouted. "We're here." But they were not alone. The Krell fleet had arrived and was already attacking Earth's orbital defenses. Explosions lit up the space around the planet as human ships fought bravely against the much larger alien vessels. "Status report," Walker demanded. "Earth's defenses are holding, but barely," Admiral Grant said. "They've activated the emergency shield network I designed, but it won't last long against that many ships." Walker studied the battlefield. The Krell had arranged their ships in a standard attack formation, something they had used successfully for centuries. "They're predictable," Walker said. "That's their weakness." He turned to his crew. "Prepare Protocol Thermopylae." The crew looked at each other in surprise. Protocol Thermopylae was a desperate battle plan, named after an ancient Earth battle where a small force had held off a much larger army by using the terrain to their advantage. "Sir, that's never been tested in real combat," Admiral Grant warned. "Neither had this ship until we faced the Council fleet," Walker replied. "Send the plans to Earth's defenders. Tell them to fall back to these positions." He marked several points in the solar system on the tactical display. The Nemesis raced toward the battle, still undetected by the Krell. Walker waited for the perfect moment, then gave the order. "Now." The black ship suddenly appeared in the middle of the Krell formation, its weapons firing with surgical precision. 3 enemy ships lost power immediately. The rest scattered in confusion. "Earth defenders, execute Thermopylae," Walker commanded over the open channel. What followed was unlike any space battle in galactic history. The human ships used the solar system itself as a weapon. They hid behind moons, using their gravity to alter missile trajectories. They skimmed the edges of asteroid fields, luring Krell ships into dangerous debris. Small, fast Earth vessels attacked and retreated, never staying in one place long enough to be targeted. And at the center of it all was the Nemesis, moving in ways that defied the laws of physics as understood by the Krell. The neural interface that connected the human crew to the ship allowed them to react instantly, as if the ship was an extension of their own bodies. 10 Loren ships arrived as promised, joining the battle on humanity's side. The tide began to turn. General Zork, commanding the Krell fleet from his massive flagship, watched in growing rage as his carefully planned attack fell apart. "Impossible," he roared. "They are just primitives." His second-in-command approached cautiously. "Sir, we've lost 12 ships already. Perhaps we should." "No retreat." Zork slammed his fist on the command console. "Target their leader. All remaining ships, focus fire on the Nemesis." 20 Krell battleships turned their weapons toward the human vessel. Even with its advanced technology, the Nemesis couldn't withstand such concentrated firepower. "Shields failing," Admiral Grant reported as the ship shook violently. "We can't take much more of this." Walker made a decision that would be remembered throughout the galaxy for centuries. "Set course for the Krell flagship. Maximum speed." "Sir," Dr. Reed looked up in shock. "That's a suicide run." "Not quite," Walker said. "Remember that neural interface system you developed, the one that lets us share our thoughts with the ship?" Dr. Reed nodded slowly, beginning to understand. "Can you modify it to work in reverse, to broadcast our thoughts to their ships?" Her eyes widened. "You want to show them how we think, our emotions?" "Exactly. The Krell have never understood humans. Let's change that." As the Nemesis charged toward the Krell flagship, Dr. Reed worked frantically to modify the neural system. The ship's shields were nearly gone. Alarms blared throughout the vessel. "Ready," she called out finally. "All crew, connect to the interface," Walker ordered. "Share everything, our determination, our hope, our willingness to die for freedom. Let them feel what it means to be human." The Nemesis, trailing fire and debris, crashed through the Krell defense screen and came alongside the flagship. Instead of firing weapons, it broadcast a signal unlike anything the galaxy had ever experienced, the raw emotional essence of humanity. On the Krell ships, alien minds suddenly experienced the full force of human emotions. They felt the courage that had driven humans to face impossible odds throughout their history. They understood, for the first time, why this species could never be conquered, because humans would always choose death over submission. The effect was immediate. The Krell fleet stopped firing. Several ships powered down completely as their crews struggled to process the emotional onslaught. In the silence that followed, a new ship arrived, larger than any in the battle. It bore the insignia of High Counselor Vex, the oldest and wisest member of the Galactic Council. "This conflict ends now," Vex's voice came through on all communication channels. "The Krell attack was unauthorized and illegal under Council law." General Zork's broken voice responded, "High Counselor, these humans, they are not like any species we have encountered." "No," Vex agreed. "They are not. And perhaps that is what our galaxy has needed for a very long time." In the days that followed, representatives from all Council species gathered on Earth. For the first time in 10,000 years, the Galactic Council changed its fundamental structure. No longer would advanced species rule over lesser ones. All members would have equal voice. The Nemesis, repaired and upgraded, became the flagship of a new multi-species exploration fleet. Captain Walker stood on its bridge once more, but now his crew included Lorens, reformed Krell, and a dozen other alien species. "Where to, Captain?" asked Dr. Reed, now his official second-in-command. Walker smiled as he looked at the stars on the view screen. "Everywhere we haven't been yet. The galaxy just got a lot bigger." As the Nemesis set course for unexplored space, humans and aliens working side by side, Walker reflected on how it had all begun, with a threat to humanity's freedom. The ship that had been built for war had become something else entirely, a symbol of what different species could accomplish together. The Galactic Council's worst nightmare had become the galaxy's greatest hope.